Good evening, everyone. Am I audible to all?
Yes, so
Okay, thank you. I request all of you to keep your camera on so we can start our session. All right, I can see lots of familiar faces here. Very good. All the participants kindly request you to start your camera so we can start the session. Okay, so just a second. Who is in waiting room? Okay, all right. And also rename your screen name. Okay, as you most of you are already old participants from the R1, those who already, many of you have already done the past program, so you know the process. The process is that we will keep our microphone muted, we'll keep our camera on, we will be rename our screen with the name you have registered with, or email ID or your name, not like HP or some other name which you are not belongs. So just rename yourself. We have given the right to you. You are authorized to rename yourself. So please rename your screen with the name you are registered with. You can switch off your camera once the Dr. Parma session start. So you can switch off your camera. But when you log in, make sure that you log in with your video on. Okay, many times it happens that your network is not supporting you. In that case, you can keep your camera off. But I will kindly request keep your camera on so that we can gauge that who is in our program. Okay, how many of you are here for first time? If you are first time, can you just write it on the chat box that I'm first timer? Those who are first time in the workshop and have not done any workshop with us, please write in the chat box that I am first timer. Chandraman. Okay. Anyone else? Chandraman, are you familiar with R programming? You can unmute yourself and can talk. If you can unmute and talk.
I just know only introduction. I know this introductory part of R, so
Okay.
I'm not very familiar with it.
Okay. So you have the basic idea of what is R, right?
Yes, exactly, sir.
Okay. So might be you will be able to that cop up with the program then, because if you are not at all familiar with R, then I will suggest to go with the first R basic program, R foundation program, and then join this R2 program. This is intermediate program, which means there is a basic foundation program already has been completed by most of the participants. That's why
Okay.
they are here. So
All
I
right.
kindly request all those who have not done our basic program can repeat it. It will start tomorrow again. You can just follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/cypheranalytica, and you can match your time,
All right.
right?
All
Okay.
right.
Uh, those who have paid for the workshop, those who have paid for the workshop in name of certificate study material, I will request those participants to fill up the form, the certificate form, which you will be find in your Zoom meeting email, right? When we have shared with the confirmation email or Zoom meeting email, you will see there is a form link there. So make sure that you fill it with the proper name, email, and the payment screenshot, so that we will be able to share the study material with you every day. Sooner, I mean that if you are planning to pay a little bit later, like 1 or 2 days, that is fine. But I will suggest, rather than paying at the last day or maybe 1 day before the workshop finish, it's better to start from day one. Why? Because you will start getting the study material from day one. So you have seen in R1 that those people who have paid at the end, they have get the late that access of the study material, video recording of the session. So that makes that huge loss. I mean that you have tested the quality, you have tested the what I mean that what sort of the things we get it here in Cypher Analytica. So I will say just go ahead with the paid plan. Don't think at all. If you're not capable of paying, that is fine, that you are seriously have a financial issue, then no problem, you join the program, you make your own note, and you just do the things. Okay, we are here to support you till R2. Okay. And R3 is also starting today. I don't know if anyone of you have already registered for R3 also. It is starting just after this workshop will finish, then R3 will start. And few participants started when the R3 repeat. I will let you know the dates for that, but most probably in December. But see that this R2 has repeated just after R2 finished because we found a slot. That's why we started this program. Otherwise, this R2 program supposed to start at the end of the November. So anyway,
Sir,
these are this. Yeah.
yes, sir, myself, Dr. Surajit Sen Gupta, Assistant Professor of Bhairav Ganguly College. Actually,
Yes.
I am requesting to restart R3 again in December because uh, in our college there is a problem. There is a problem of examination now is going on,
Mm-hmm.
online examination, and to make to inculcate uh, the session that we covered in R1 and
Mm-hmm.
we are going to cover in R2. It
Mm-hmm.
took some time, sir.
Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
some
Okay.
time. So I can join in December. It will be better for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me
Sure.
participate
Sure.
like me. Okay, sir.
So we will try that it happen in December. But whenever date comes here there, 5 days here there, just join that when there it will repeat. That is what my that take is all about. Okay, so all the participants from different part of the world, most welcome, and let's start this international workshop. And I really request all of you to support this workshop, and all your love and wishes makes us feel proud and makes us to work hard to prove that we are doing good. And you know that we will be keep doing this hard work and dedication from the that Dr. Parmar is really awesome, and we expect that same good wishes from all of you. So thank you very much to be here. And this 10 days, be consistent. Do not that commitment is one important thing in our life. If you're committed and consistent, then you will be gain the knowledge. Otherwise you will be always in the half filled stuff. So when you are consistent and dedicated, automatically knowledge goes inside of you. Are you agree or not? We have seen in our life, we are grown enough that these two terms which I have said, which we have, if we have missed those points in our life, we will be lose somewhere. So this 10 days I want all of you to follow and dedicatedly come, because if you have got this opportunity, this is golden opportunity for us, which we should really utilize it. So I welcome Dr. Parmar. Dr. Parmar, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Give a big hands for Dr. Parmar. You have a screen reaction button, and you can just clap and for Dr. Parmar. So thank you very much, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. As you know that we all love you a lot, and
Thanks.
your smile, that makes us, feel really happy that. And as I personally appreciate your hard work, morning,
Thanks.
day, and night. That he will even never say no to that anything you ask him. He's ready with his hard work and dedication. So over to you, sir. Now you are on driver's seat, and these are the passengers. I am the co-pilot with you. So
Yes, sir.
let's start, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank
Welcome, everyone. First, I will explain you what we will cover in this 10 days workshop. And what would be our curriculum, what we are going to cover here. So let me share my screen with you first. So many folders are open today. Now I think my screen is visible to you all.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Nice. So let me share the course content of our intermediate with you. In our intermediate, our key learning objective is that we understand the data visualization, understanding also the data manipulation, the data preparation, and calculate correlation and the correlation with R. Difference, distinguish and work with different types of distribution with R, like the various probability distribution we will study over here. And estimate confidence interval with R, which is related to the inferential analysis, hypothesis testing, and understand the difference between PC and factor analysis. Uh, this we will cover here in this R intermediate. So it is the 10 days workshop, approximate 2 hours daily. And course curriculum, if you see in detail, this is the 4th chapter. The 3 chapters we have covered in our R1, which were the essentials of statistics, R basic concepts, syntax, whatever we have read over there, and the descriptive analysis. 3 chapters we have already covered. Now this is the 4th one. We will start with the data visualization with R. So here we will learn about how to create a part chart, bar plot, histogram, box plot, scatter plot with R base. We have 2 ways to perform the visualization in R. One is the R base commands, through the R base commands without using any library. And second, we will use the ggplot2, which is a very prominent library for the data visualization. So we use also this library, and we also try to learn some interactive visualization. I will just give you some hint about the SignApp or some other libraries are there, but we could not go in deep with the SignApp. Okay, it's a different course. It requires minimum 1 month time to learn the all SignApp application. It is the web application we could produce through the SignApp. Yeah, Subhasis Banerjee, we are going to cover all parametric, non-parametric test, all sort of test, T-test, G-test, ANOVA, chi-square, Kruskal Wallis, Mann-Whitney, U-test, every sort of test we will learn over there. And the fifth lesson we are going to cover the data preparation. In the data preparation, we will see how to treat the missing values and the outliers, and how to make a dummy variables for the linear regression, logistic regression analysis, and transformation of data, and a group by, and then we apply function we use somewhere, and then we see how to transform the data, and the data manipulation by grouping, separate, unite, gather, and the spread, etc. functions. And the 6th unit, we are going to cover the inferential analysis, the parametric test, t-test, this all we cover. And here we will cover mostly in the depth the factor analysis, not the principal component analysis. We go in deep. This would be in the R advanced. Okay, because this is a very lengthy topic, we could not cover the whole PCA here. So this we study about introductory part, and the factor analysis we will cover in detail. So this would be our schedule for next 10 days. So first we see about the data visualization. We start with the data visualization. Look at here. I think this PPT is on your screen now. The data visualization. And first we see why visualize data, why we visualize the data. So if we see here, it is a way of summarizing the data. This is a different way of summarizing data. Without the figure, we could summarize the data through the visualization. Many a times simple numeric summaries are not enough. For the example, while finding pattern in the data. So we visualize the data in histogram and this thing. And third one reason is that the images capture imagination of audience better than dry numbers in many cases. So these are the reasons why we use the data visualization. It helps us to understand the behavior of the data. Popular visualization, if you see, there is a histogram and the bar plots. Histogram we generally use for the continuous data, continuous numeric data. And we, on the x-axis, we take that variable. On the y-axis, we get the frequency. Okay. And the improved, you see here I have written on the y-axis count. Basically, we use the percentage here. Okay. I just written the count so I could explain you. We won't have to use the count. Better use percentage instead of count in the bar plot. Bar plot we use for the categorical data or the discrete data type. Okay. Then the data distribution, if we see the box plot and the violin plot, box plot we use as well as for the numeric one, and we also use for the one numeric and the one categorical. On the x-axis or the y-axis, it is your option where you want to use the categorical, where you want to use the numeric. In default, generally we use the categorical on the x-axis and the numeric on the y-axis, continuous on the y-axis. That is the box plot. It provides us the range of the data from it starts and where it ends, the minimum and the maximum. And it also shows the first and the third quartile of the data. And the median also, it represents where your median lies in the data. So if I explain in this is the minimum value of this variable, factor M, it is the gear transmission, automatic vehicle. The mileage starts from here and the maximum mileage of any one of the car is here, this much. And this is our first quartile, this is our third quartile, or this is our median. So this width is not important, only we work with the height. Here there is a violin plot, you see it is the same, and the height and the total you see. But here wherever you see the wide, the figure is very wide here. So here the frequency is high. There are high frequencies there at this place, and there is low frequency here. So it mentions that way here also. And then we see a point plot. So it is a point plot. We are using just like a box plot. It is the minimum and the maximum, just is so. And this is a jitter. So I have included the jitter and the point together. So the frequency is 2 times here. This point should not be there. Only the jitter would be there. So some points are overlapped here. So they will scatter at the same height. So we could see how many points are there at a particular value for a particular value in the Y. So that we could judge here. Then we see a scatter plot, relationship plot it is called. There are both the variables are mostly numeric, or one is the numeric and the other is a discrete we to consider. Here I am taking the mileage and the weight of the car. As the weight increases, mileage decreases. It shows that the weight is increasing and the mileage is decreasing of a vehicle. So this is a scatter plot, and we could create is a line plot also. We use in this way, and line and point both plot we are taking. And here you see it is a smooth curve we are getting, the predictive curve we are getting, and these are the intervals we are getting there. Confidence intervals are there of this prediction. So this is a kind of relationship plot. And then we have so many polar world plots are here in R. This is the simple pie chart which we create most of the times. But before creating any polar world plot, we have to create a bar plot. Then we convert this that bar plot in a pie chart. Okay, or the any other polar world plot. You see, this is also a polar world plot. This is also a polar world plot. So we have different sort of plots we could produce with R. So today just we consider about the R base, and tomorrow I will tell you more about the ggplot2. These all things we will discuss later on. So we are going to start data visualization. Just sorry. Now it's okay. I am getting. I am audible. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first we are starting with the data visualization with R basics, and I have given very detailed script here. And these visualizations are not much pretty. It's okay. We use it for our understanding. When we analyze the data, when we understanding the data, we use it. And here we start with the pie chart. The syntax of the pie chart you see here, I have written. Pie is a function. Here the data, then labels what you want to print on the pie chart. Then the radius of the pie chart, that circle. Main is the title of that figure. No? That is a color, and the pie chart should be in the clockwise direction or the in anti-clockwise direction. So these are the attributes we use in the pie in the R basic. And I have written also the all descriptions of this. X is a vector containing the numeric values in the pie chart. Labels is used to give description to the slices, and this all I have written there. Now, if you want to read more about it, you put a question mark, then write the pie and control enter, you will get here. And you could read it. These are the attributes. There are so many attributes, but we don't use all one. Few required attributes is very compulsory to use. These are the default value of circle is the 0.8 radius. And labels and these the few required, the label is required, data is required, radius is not required, edges is not required. So if you write only these two attributes, then it's okay, you could create a pie chart. Later on you could use the color and anything, the 45 degree, the 90 degree, whatever. I will tell you later on this whole thing. So here I am making one vector, numeric vector. for the values which we use in the pie chart, that is 21, 62, 10, and 53. I have taken these values, and if you see, this is my vector, and I'm using another vector for character vector, and this is the name of countries or the cities, the London, New York, Singapore, and Mumbai. And if you look at this, you will get it. Now I'm using only two attributes, X and labels, and I am creating a pie chart. So I just maximize this so you could better see the graph here. So this is a pie chart. We have got the label. I have given the New York, London, these all. And it is, you see, it is the anti-clockwise. Okay. So if I write that clockwise is equal to true, then you see London, New York, and this way. Okay, so in the default, the clockwise is false, and angle we could set angle from where we will start it. That is angle here in the clockwise. It will always start from this 90 degree, and the 3 p.m. you see in the our watch. So it will go in this way. Now I am giving some new thing to this. I am giving the title city pie chart, and I am giving the color palette rainbow. Rainbow is a color palette name. You could get so many color palettes here in R. I will explain you how to see the color palettes, and these all on the internet. You could also see so many color palettes. Length X, why I have given here. Length X means it is as per this, it will find out the degree of this and it will fill here color. Okay, as per this sector area of sector, it will fill it. So that is X, so I have written here. So it is a color palette I have used here, rainbow. So the color are different. But mostly we want here some percentage. We want some values. Values in means percentage we want some. And this we want in some region, somewhere else. Okay. So how we can do it? So first I am going to find out a pi percent. And this is the percentage is what? It is a proportion. Favorable outcome over total outcome. So it is the X over sum of X. X 21 divided by total of this. Then 62 divided by total of this. So that I am getting. And I am multiplying it by 100. So I will get the percentage proportion if I multiply with 100. And then I am going to round it off with one decimal places. The after decimal, I will get the one digit only. And I am giving the object name is the pi percent. You could give any name, X, Y, Z, whatever you want. So this I have done. If I show you pi percent, so you will see it is the 14.4%, 42.5%, 6.8%, 36.3% we are getting for all these values percentage. If you add these all, you will get your
Excuse me, sir.
100%. Yes.
Can we show this on pie chart as well? The visualization side, the percentage.
We will show it now. So we have done it. So we are doing, we are pre-processing this thing. Then we could involve in our that pie chart.
Okay, okay.
So first we have to create a vector this. Okay. We have got this pi percent. Now we apply here. So X, first time we have taken the labels. Labels were this name here. Now I am not taking the labels. I am taking the pi percent instead of labels. So I will get here the percentage. Got it?
So can we have both, like name and
Yeah.
percentage?
Yeah, both we will take it. And this is the title and this is the, so we won't get both over there. We will get one legend here in this. So this is the percentage we are getting. And now I am creating one legend on the top left here. that legend is this labels. So I have written this. If I give some other name, I could write here also. And this is the size of our legend. And the fill with the same, what color we are filling here, same color we required there in the legend. We could change the size. 0.5 I have written, I will write the 0.7. So we could increase this size, but I have already explained you that in the R basic, few figures are not so much pretty. So here the pie chart is not so much pretty here in this R basics, not so much pretty, but because of the course I have explained you how to create it. Mostly we create the pie chart in the Excel sheet. We take the data over there and we convert them in
Yeah.
pie chart. It would be better. It doesn't mean that you are working on R, you are doing analysis on R, and you do everything on R. These are the tools. Okay. So sometimes you feel better to do with something in Excel. So go to the Excel and use it for a particular cause. Understand? So sometimes I also use, I create some graph in the Excel. It is very easy to create the graph on the Excel, some figures, but some complex figures we could not produce in the Excel. So why we use R for only for those figures. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now I will explain you one more thing. There is a Plotrix library which we use for that 3-dimensional pie chart, and we have to install it. And whenever you have to use, you import it, library Plotrix, and the same data I am taking there. I have just changed the object name LBL here. Py3D X is this numeric and the labels is the LBL explode 0.5, and the main is that is the title. So this is our pie chart. But if I reduce the explode by 1, what it? So this is for
Sir.
the pie chart.
In the legend, what is the meaning of CEX, sir?
That is the size of the legend.
Yeah.
Size if you have to, CEX is mostly it is used for the size of the text and the size of everything. If you are dealing with the size, so then we have to use the CEX.
Okay, sir.
Later you will see there so many places we are using this sort of things.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is only for the size. Just keep in mind CEX is for the size of anything. Here it is for size of that what we are using legend, because we are using this CEX in the legend. So it is work for the legends, size of the legend. So I think this is clear to all about the pie chart and the 3D pie chart. I think few questions are there. No. Mohammed, import data again? No.
Sir,
Yes.
if we want to write the name of the cities inside the portion of the pie chart,
Yeah.
then what we will do?
I will show you that thing. Everything is here. You could change that position of the labels. We could decide. It is the label character expansion factor for the labels. Label CX and color of the labels and the position of the labels. So optional positions for the labels. So we could see some examples here they have given. Okay, just use it and we see what difference we get over there. Okay, I'm just using because they have a different attributes with that. So I just put it here and 1p I run it. But it's not. Label pose. Because we want to use this, so I don't this thing ls. If I write the ls, see what happens. Label position is not mentioning ls. Labels, pi labels. Labels is equal to pi labels. Okay, but I want something else. Pi display 3D pie chart position of the labels are given in the angles in radian. Usually the bisector of the pi sector, as the labels can be passed directly. No, label position we want. We don't want the labels position want.
Excuse me, sir. Leave it, sir, for today.
Okay, because I don't use it,
Yeah,
so I don't have
okay,
any
sir.
idea. But we could get it, we could explore it, then we could find what is the
Okay,
code we have to write here. So we could change it. Okay, because
okay,
they
sir.
have given the C examples, but in example it is not there. Okay, so I see the label position. I think it should be here also. There is a null, but they have not explained what we could use here. Okay, we could search on the net and we could find the what are the
Okay, sir. Okay,
options
sir.
are there. Okay, we could see it,
Next.
but we don't use it. It is not as pretty as we get in Excel or in the ggplot. Okay. Our basic we use for our understanding. It is a quick, we could draw a plot and we could understand the behavior and the everything of the data. So as we have seen about the pie chart, now we see about the bar plot. In the bar plot, you see the syntax is the H is a vector, X label name, X label, Y label name, title, names dot argument, and the color. So I will explain you this all. This is my vector numeric, and I will just create a bar plot. So I'm getting this way. I'm not getting the X label and the Y label and the title, and here the arguments I am not getting the names argument. So what I will create the name arguments, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 name arguments I have created here. Then I am using again this bar plot h names dot argument m. X label is a month, Y label is a revenue, color I want green, man is a revenue chart. Subtitle you could also write if you want. If you don't want, don't write anything. Border is brown and I will run it. But I will show it in Zoom so you could look better. April, May, June, July. These are the names dot argument month revenue and the revenue chart. This is the green color and the brown borders are there. Got it? Okay. Interactive graph, there is some other Subhasis, there is a other package we use for that. Okay, for the interactive graphs. So here we are just studying about the R basic. Now, a group bar chart we are going, the stack bar plot, which what we say we are going to create. The colors of the stack is the red, green, red, and blue, yellow. Month we have a 5-month region. For the each region we have a different color. And values we have given the 9 values, 5 and 15 values are there. 3 5s are 15. And row is 3 and the column is 5. And by row we are going to create a matrix here. So I will show you this matrix. This matrix we have created. It will be the first bar plot. It will be in this way, 5, 4, and 2, and this, and this, and this way. So we have created that matrix here. And the bar plot we are going to make the values are this matrix we are using for the values. We are using a matrix as a values. Man is the total revenue. Names dot argument months, X lab month, Y lab revenue. Color is colors. Legend I want in the top left. Regions where I want these regions in the legend. And this is the size of the legend. And the fill by color, the same color we have to use here. I will show you this. These are the legend we are getting here. We could increase the size of this legend. Okay. This we don't use because it is not as much as pretty. We could. There is lots of coding you have to do if you have to create in the R basic. If you have to create a very attractive graph, then the coding is we have to write so many codings over there. So I don't. Therefore, I don't prefer it because we want to save our time, or we could use some other tools for create this sort of graphs. Now I talk about the box plot. In the box plot, we are going to make a box plot for a empty cars data. And I think most of you are already aware about the empty cars data. There is a column mileage and a cylinder, number of cylinder and mileage. So there are 4, 6, and 8 cylinders car. And mileage is a continuous miles per gallon fuel consumption. And I'm given the X lab and the Y lab and the color green, yellow, purple, and the mileage. So I will show you this. So this I am creating here. So this is a box plot. It shows that number of cylinder is 4. It is giving us the high mileage. And there is a 6 cylinder. It is giving us the medium mileage. And the number of 8 cylinders giving us low mileage. Does that make sense to everyone? In this way, you could understand through the visualization. One shot, anybody can understand through this. If you see the data and figures, it will take very long time to understand the thing. So the visualization is required. And we just create a box plot. We don't fill it and something. We, for our use, for our understanding, we just put the box plot and put the variable name and just see in the black and white, and you could better. And it is only for the understanding. Color is not required as for the understanding of the data. That is for the presentation purpose. Now we are using a tapply function, and this tapply function we will study in the next chapter. That is a data preparation, and it will give us the mean of cylinder, mean of mileage with cylinder 4 and the mean of mileage with cylinder 6 and the mean of mileage with cylinder 8. So I just find out this mean. I will show you this mean. So these are the mean of the mileage with 4-cylinder vehicle, mean of the mileage with 6-cylinder vehicle, mean of the mileage with 8-cylinder vehicle. And I am going to make a bar plot for this. So it is the mean mileage of the 4-cylinder vehicle is higher, 6-cylinder is middle one, and the 8-cylinder is lowest one. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. These functions I will tell you, there are so many apply functions, not only T apply, S apply, E apply, F apply. There are so many apply function, L apply, and we will see these all apply functions in the next chapter. Now we have a box plot I am making again for the mileage and cylinder. Here you see in the box plot we are putting the tilde sign. Mileage would be on the y-axis and the cylinder would be on the x-axis. Y tilde x, this is generally called y tilde x. And the data is empty, called the X label, Y label, main, notch. Notch is, I will explain you in the box plot, the var width, true, the color, and it is a notch plot basically. You see it is a, this notch plot, it is the median here. Everything is same like a box plot. It is a type of box plot, but we have notch. If you don't do it, then you will get a box plot. Don't write notch equal to true. So this is about the box plot. Violin plot, sometimes we use violin plots showing the frequency. Where the frequency is higher, where the frequency is lower. So we use the violin plot. Okay. Dollar sign. Here in the tapply function, we don't have any attribute of data. So we have to select a mileage variable from a data frame of empty cars. So I will write the data frame first, data set name, then dollar. After dollar, I will get that variable name. So the data is also, I have to explain again and again because there is no extra data writing attribute. Here you see we have a writing attribute of the data here. But so we are not taking empty cost dollar mileage and the empty cost dollar cylinder. Got it? Separate attribute we have a data, but here we don't have a separate attribute of the data. Does that make sense to everyone? Mhm. We have seen pie chart, three-dimensional pie chart. We have seen the bar plot. We have seen the box plot. We have seen the violin. Violin we have not done here. We have done here the notch plot. Now we see the histogram. In the histogram, we have first a variable, then the figure name, X label, X limit, Y limit if you require, then breaks, then color and border. Okay. So I will explain you. This is my vector I am going to create and I am making this. Look at this. If I don't write this break, these are the intervals I am getting here. 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35. Between 25 and 30, there is no vehicle giving us that weight. Okay. And in this way, we are getting it. So we are giving some break. So you see how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I take 4. If I take 4, see what happens. So we have to 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So we reduce the break and we could, whatever the gap for there, we have filled it. And we have changed the classes. If I write 3, see what happens. It is not changing anything. Because there is the, why it is not changing? If I am going to take the 3 breaks, then it would be a rational number here. Irrational number I will get over here. Sorry, rational number, non-terminating rational number I will get here. So that is not possible me to give this sort of interval for a non-terminating rational number. Does that make sense to everyone? So it is taking only as per the 4. I am making a histogram empty cars of mileage. Generally, we produce this and we see it is a positive skew. And the box plot for the mileage I show you, you see it is also positive skewed. And the histogram, if I make with the X label and the everything, then you see it. I am getting this. Okay, 0 to 50 X limit and 0 to 5 is my Y limit. We could mention the limit. If I take the limit 100 also I could take here. Look at it. So in default it will select, basically we don't have to write the X limit and the Y limit. In default, as per the variable values, it will take the limit. Then after histogram, is there any doubt in the histogram? Someone? Yeah. I will show you. There are so many pretty graphs we produce here. Few I show you with some projects of the analysis. This is the histogram. we created on R. Look at this. I will show you this whole thing with the ggplot2. I have created this. You see, this is the bar plot I have created with the ggplot2. Values are there also. These are the percentage basically. Percent. Look at this. The colors are very pretty colors. We have lots of colors. Look at, very colorful, pleasant. Here also you see. This I have created in Excel, not in R. Okay. This I have created in Excel. So some plots I have created in Excel. This also I have created in Excel. This in R, the correlation. This also in R. So you could create so many sort of graphs here. Explain you some more. Here I explain you this one. If I get that report here. I see whether it is working or not. It is not there. That. It has been misplaced. It is not there. It has been misplaced. I will show you some other. And this is in the Excel I have created basically. So it is not compulsory to create the graphs only in I have some old the PhD which has been awarded. I could give that data, but this is the current still I am working on this was it. And they are not awarded. So I have so many in my drive, so I could share those which has been awarded already. Okay. So I mean to say that we could create so pretty graphs with the ggplot2, but these are basic. We also have to learn. Whenever we do the EDA, exploratory data analysis, at that moment we required this for understanding the nature of the variable. And then this histogram and everything. We have to just in the one shot, we have to draw it and we have to see it. So color will not required over there. Now about the line graph. So line graph, you see, we have a plot function. This plot function has various uses, not only for the line, point plot, so many. So this is a vector, this is a type. Type will show us whether it is line or what. Color, xlab, ylab. I will show you this vector I am taking and I just plot V. Look at this, what I am getting. Sorry. This is the V vector I will get default on the Y, and the x-axis I will get this indexing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the indexing. And this is the variable I will get over there. ggplot2 we have not started. We will start tomorrow or maybe the day after tomorrow. Okay. We are just working with the R basic today. And when I use type 0, see what happens. Got it? I could use the type B also. We have at various, I will explain you later on. So there is a gap now. In the previous you see there is no gap. It is the continuous. Okay. And here you see it is a gap. I am giving some decoration to it. You'll see this is the rainfall and the month and everything I have given the first month, second month, and third month. Okay. Yes, we can show it. We can show it. I will show you that. And there is, you see, we are going to make empty cars type B. So empty cars, you see the empty cars data with mileage, but it does not look nice. Now we are making few more variables, VTU, and I'm plotting with V only first and giving the red color. And this is my, with this data. Now I want to attach the line for T and U also. These two other variables I have also. So I will just write down the lines function. First I will use the plot. And later I have to, whatever I have to add on this. Suppose this is my sales. And I want to put for cost. I want to put one cost and the one for surplus. So whatever. So these are the other vector. And I just have to use the lines and U this vector, what I am going to use, type and the color. So you'll see on the same plot, I will get it. Okay. And this also I will get it. Okay. So here the value is higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we have 6 value here, and everywhere we have the 5 values. Okay, so I remove this one from U. Okay, I want 6 values here, no? 6 in this both, to there also I want 6. I take it now. Okay, this I am getting. And there is 5. I just put there one more. 6. Now 6 is everywhere. Look at this. In this way, we could make so many lines in a plot. Now, next is a scatter plot. Scatter plot, you know that we will take both the
Excuse me,
variable.
sir. Can you please repeat what you have told about this gaps in a red one? We don't have in green and blue.
Okay, that is we are using here. Oh, here we have used B type.
Okay.
If you write here B, you will not get any. You will get the gap here. If I write B, and the blue line you will see now. Okay, I have to again create this.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thank
So
you.
0 and B. We have various, but I will explain you. It's not a small script. It's a very big script of 972 lines. So every point I will explain you later on. Just we are just seeing the how we create a graph, different sort of graphs here. It is only for the R basics. ggplot2 scripts are other.
Mhm.
So data visualization will take 4 days. It will not cover in 2 hours only. It required 8 hours minimum. So it will take 4 days. Now we are going to make a scatter plot. A scatter plot with I have taken two variables, selected two variables from empty cars. Now, this is the weight and mileage, and I have given that data set name is the input. I could use the empty cars also, uh, but here I have used it, separated it first, and I will show you the print of head. The weight and mileage only two variables I have in this data set input. So I am taking the plot for the input dollar weight and the input dollar mileage. Okay, on the x-axis it would be weight and the y-axis I want to put the mileage. And these are non-data links I have given, x lab and the y lab. The x limit, if you want to give the limits, you could give. And I run it. So I get this. Because this limit I have given, if I remove this limit, and I run it, you see it is okay now. So when you put the limit, be careful about the range of the limit what you are going to write. And I have just used anything I have written. I want to show you that the limit, don't write the limit, it would be better. Okay, if you want to show that there's some gap and there's some gap, then you could use the limit in that way. The same plot I'm making with the plot empty cost dollar weight and the empty cost dollar mileage. You see the weight is here on the and the mileage is here. And now I am changing again. So it is the horsepower and weight. As the horsepower increases, the weight also increases of the vehicle. So we could make this graph in a very, just a moment. Why I am getting this in this way, I will show you. I have to set the size for this. Okay, the default size I want to set for this. So this is not a default size here. So I just take a default size. It is 5 4. Just a moment, I am giving the default size to them. Five, 4, 4, 2. Okay. Now I will create that graph again. So you could see what is the difference now. It is taking too much. It is 8.1. Sorry. Just a moment, I set it first. The bottom is 5 and 4, 4 and 2. It's okay now. That was affecting it. Are you getting it? Now the figure is in a better way. Presentation. Because this margin is 5 unit as per this, and this is the default parameter basically. And this is 4. This is 4. Here is 2 only.
So what was the initial issue? Like, why
Because
was
I
it?
have done some other graphs
Okay.
previously, so I have changed the setting. So this is the default setting. I have set it 5442.
Okay. And 5 is basically?
5 is the bottom from bottom.
Okay,
This
okay,
is the
okay.
sum
It's a distance. Okay, sir.
distance. And there is 4 and 4, the same distance you see, this and this.
Okay.
And 2. Okay.
Mhm.
So in this way, these are the some. I will explain you this all there in the later in this script. Okay, so it looks better than that. You see now when we make these plots, and it will be a repeat now. Now we draw a pair plot. Pairs we create for the correlation. This is the scatter plot we create. The weight, mileage, displacement, and cylinder. So I will show you this. So look at this. It's very informative to us. It is the weight and mileage. As the mileage increases, mileage on the x-axis, weight on the y-axis. As the mileage increases, weight decreases. If we see here, so it is the displacement, and here is the weight. As the displacement increases, weight increases. And here you see the weight and cylinder. In the 4th cylinder, weight is low, and the 6th cylinder medium weight, and the 8th cylinder high weight vehicles. Similar thing we are getting here on this lower triangle. Lower triangle, it just transpose. Now it is y-axis, the mileage is y-axis, and the weight on the x-axis. So as the mileage increases, at the weight increases on the x-axis, mileage decreases. Got it? Any doubt? Okay. Now you see in the whole, because the previous Zoom was open as per the old setting. Here you could see it proper way. Okay. So we have seen various sort of graphs. Now we see the graphical parameters, what we use as a attribute for the graphs. Okay. You can customize many features of your graphs, fonts, colors, axes, titles through graphic options. You know? One way is to specify these options through the parameter PAR for the parameter function. And if you set parameter values here, the change will be in the effect for the rest of the session or until you change them again. Does that make sense to you? Because I have set the parameter something else prior to that. I was working in a day. So I have not changed it. So we are not getting the graph properly. Got it? The format is par, option name equal to value, option name equal to value. In this way, we have to write down the parameter. There are so many parameters. Set a graphical parameter using par. Or we could also use this parameter inside the syntax of the plot, the attributes, whatever you want. So we see both the process. And what I will do, I will first show you what is this PAR. Thus question mark and just write the PAR. You will get it. And there are so many attributes. So you will read it carefully one by one. You could understand most of the thing. And if you want to see the current setting, what is the current settings of the parameter? So you could just write the PAR and the round bracket. You just run it, or you will see this is our current setting. There are so many things you read here. You could better understand the sum of thing. I will explain you later on, one by one. So here, it is not a log on the x-axis and the y-axis. There is a normal values we are using. Adjoint is 0.5. I will explain later on where we use this adjoint, and the B type is 0. What we are using in the default 0 and B we have. CX is 1, the size, default size of That is the default size of axis is also 1. X label, whatever the text we write on a label would be one size. You know? And the main is a 1.2 size. The title name would be little bit bigger than that. And this is the subtitle name is a 1 is a general. And these some other things I will tell you. The color is the black in default. Color of axis is also black. Color of label is black in default. Color of main is also black. Color of subtitle is also black. So this is, we have to say CRE. RO size of the default character, width and height. It is in pixels, 1/72 inch. Arbitrary pixels. And CIN we have seen here. ANN, and this everything you will get here. Okay. So I want to show you that our size, 55. It is C, 5.1, 4.1, 4.1, 2.1. 5442. So it is actually plus 0.1. Okay. So here I am setting this, I am copying this default setting, what I have. I copy it because I have to reset the original setting again. Na? So this original setting I am copying, and this I am copying original parameter. O for original parameter. Correct? So I run it. Now I am changing the setting for the succeeding graphs. I want to change the color label. Color label, you know that in default that is black. I want to change this color label red. So X and Y label red I want. And I make a histogram for mileage, empty cars mileage histogram. So you will see it. This color is red, no? I have not written anything in the histogram, any color. I have changed it. If I make any plot, if I make a box plot, I just a moment. What happened here? Box plot. Box plot of weight, empty cars, dollar, and weight. Look at this. In the weight, we are not getting any labels, column labels. But if I make a box plot, we are not getting it. If I get a histogram, you see the histogram, we have that label. We are getting it. Okay. So the label is red. I will get whatever I will make. Please you mute your mic. Someone mic is on. Anil Kumar ji, please you mute your mic. Okay. So whatever the graph I will make, it will give me the rate label. Now I want the default setting. So I don't have to do anything. I have saved the default setting in this way, OPAR. So I will write the OPAR. Otherwise, I have to write the MAR, margin. MAR for the margin is equal to C combined 5442. Understand? So because I have saved the previous one, defaults, I am applying this. Okay. And it says that this cannot be set. Okay, no problem. I don't require to set this. Now if I make, so I will get the black. Got it? As default. Is there any doubt? And the second way of specify a graphical parameter is by providing the option name equal to value pairs directly to a high level plotting function. And in this case, the option are only in the effect for the date specific graph. So we are making a histogram and I want a color label green. So it will affect only this one. It will not apply to other one. It will not apply to this one. It is the specific we have written in this syntax. Does that make sense to everyone? Now we talk about the text and symbol size. We will see each and every aspect of the this graphic. The following options can be used to control the text and symbol size in the graphs. The options description, you see the size I have told you that CEX 6, this is the sixth number indicating the amount by which plotting text and symbols should be scaled relative to the default. So default is 1. If you put 1 by 1.5, it is the 50% larger than before. If you put only 0.5, it is the 50% smaller. Got it? In the CEX for the size. Okay. And this number I have explained you. And the CX axis, magnification of the axis annotation relative to CX. CX lab, CX man, CX sub. Okay. And we have some PCH, plotting symbols. PCH, I just show you what does it mean. Points is a generic function to draw a sequence of a points. As we have in the scatter plot, we have draw the hollow circle and the blank circle we have plotted. I will show you that plot of the scatter plot. You see, these are the hollow circle, the blank circles. We have different options. We could create a triangle. We could create a square here instead of this circle. We could use anything. So that is the PCH. Okay. So we use PCH option to symbols to use any plotting points. See, so here for symbols 21 through 25, specify watercolor and the fill color. Okay. If you want to fill the color, it is the BG. Okay. Specify watercolor and fill color. So I will show you this later on. We just read something, then I will draw the plot. Lines, you can change the lines using the following options. This particularly useful for the reference lines, axes, fit lines, etc. So they are the lines type. Okay, I will show you this figure also for the PCH. If you write the PCH 0, you will get the square. If you write the PCH 1, you will get 0. This circle, sorry, hollow circle. 2, you will get a blank triangle. 3 plus 4 cross 5, this rhombus. In this way, you will get it. Or filled, you will get here. Got it? And for lines, I will explain you lines type. So these are the lines. If you write the one, it is a complete line without any gap or the. And here 2, you see it is a line dotted, and this is a dotted line. This is the one dot and one bar, one hyphen there. And the dash dot dash dot dash dot is the dash line. This is also a dash and a small dash line. So got it? These are the line types. So, and the option description LTY is also line type. See the we have given you the chart that LWD line width, LWD line width, and the default is 1, 2 is twice as width. Okay, correct. And here for the colors. So for colors, if you see options that specify colors include following sheet, I will show you this sheet color chart. This is my color chart. So of R. So you could write this code, or you could get that color. There are so many other options also for the color coding, and the so many things are there. So I will show you this. Option description, color default, plotting color, some functions, lines, accept a vector value, they are recycled. The color dot axis, color dot lab, color dot man, color dot sub, the any color, the FG color, foreground color, background color. Okay. You can specify color in R by index name, hexadecimal, RGB, and the color one, color white, and then there are many options. Okay, if you search on the net, you will get so many things. This codes you will get over there. This code chart you will get over there. You could select that code and you could write that code. You could write in this way also: white, green, yellow, red. Some, if you write through the number SI chart I have shown you. Okay, so you can also create a vector of n continuous colors using the functions rainbow and hit colors and whatever the palette you want, the 5 colors palette, 10 colors palette, you could use for your figures. The colors returns all available color names. If you just run this, you will get the R color names. I will show you. So these color names you could use. Colors and blank bracket. So you could copy paste this color and see. Okay, there are so many colors. In the gray, you say there are so many gray shades we have. Every colors we have multiple shades. Now I talk about the fonts. We will do this all practical, don't worry. I am just explaining you now. You can easily set font size and the style, but font family is bit more complicated. Huh? This the font family is bit more complicated. That I will share with you these sheets. I have these sheets, color chart and parallelogram. So I will share with it to you. I've got this from internet. Okay, if you search, you will get this thing. All things are there in the net. And the font size and style I will talk you. Font integer specifying font to use for the text. So we could use the integer also for showing this. The 1 for the plain text, 2 for the bold, 3 for italic, 4 for bold italic, and 5 for symbol. Okay, font dot axis, font for the axis annotation. It will change. You could change that. You could write some font there. That font would be there. Font dot label, font dot man, font dot sub, and PS font size roughly 1/72 inch. Okay. And the text size PS dot PS into CX. Okay, that is a text size. If you multiply both then. So family font for the drawing text standard values are the serif, sans, mono, symbol. Mapping is device dependent. In Windows, mono is mapped to TT Korean New. Serif is mapped to TT Times New Roman. Sans is mapped to TT Arial. Mono is mapped to TT Korean New. And symbol is mapped to TT symbol. true type. TT is for the true type, and you can add your own mappings. Okay. So here I am making one plot, which is 1:10 and 1:10 on the x-axis, 1:10 on the y-axis. And the type N. Type N, I will explain you why I have written it. Okay. You see, if I don't write this type N, you see what happens. Got it? I don't want anything inside. I want to keep it blank. I just want these numbers here. I want only the platform. I don't want any geometry inside it. So type an N for no geometry required. Okay. I show you something here. Windows fonts. I'm making A Windows font Arial Black, B Windows font Bookman Old Style, C is equal to Windows font Comic Sans MS, sorry, D Windows font symbol. And I run this. And I text 3x3 Cipher Analytica default. So you'll see what is 3x3. I will show you. 3x3 is the 3 is the here center of this, and 3 is also the center of this. Got it? And this font is what sort of font is this? And I make a 4x4. 4x4 will be here and here. Okay. So it is a Arial Black Cipher Analytica from Arial Black. So it is the family A. It is the family B I have taken. This is my family. Okay. And so it is, there is, I have not taken anything. It is the default. This is the family A, the Arial Black. Now I will see the Bookman Old Style. So you will see this B, I run it. Bookman Old Style. Got it? I have also written the same thing here, name, so you could better understand that thing. And family C, if you see, it is the Cipher Analytica from Comic Sans MS font I have used. And here you see symbol. So I'm using the symbols on the that. Is there any doubt? Yeah. Yes, you could create this sort of, you could create a family like this. The family I have created here, I will show you just a moment. This is my family I have created. In this way, you have to create a family, and then you could use the family A, B, C, D, whatever you want. Okay, just, and this I am showing you here. Okay. Now, we talk about the margins and graph size. So you can control the margin size using the following parameter. I am telling you. These following parameters I have written here. Option descriptions is the MAR for the margin, PAR for the parameter. So keep it this in mind. Numerical vector indicating margin size, bottom, left, top, and right, as I explained you earlier also. Bottom 5, 4, 4, 2. This is the default. Na? Bottom, left, top, right. In the lines default, in the lines you will see C5442 plus 0.1. Okay. And this is the in the lines here. It is this line, and this line. And MAI numerical vector indicating margin size in inches. It is in inches if you write the MAI. And the pin plot dimension, width, height in the inches. Okay, so that is a different way, but we want to use the inches here. Access and test. So many high level plotting functions, plot, histogram. Plot we have seen, the scatter plot and the line plot. Histogram we have seen, box plot, etc. allow you to include axis and text options as well as other graphical parameters. So we see some here axis option within a plot. So plot we have the axis option is the X label, Y label. Okay, and we have the X limit and the Y limit. This is the X minimum and maximum value. X minimum, Y minimum, the Y maximum value in the plot you want to show. For finer control of modularization, you can use the functions described below. I have shown here. The title is for the our main function to add the labels to a plot. So main title, subtitle, and if you could use a title function also. First you draw a graph and then you add on the title. So here you could write so many attributes in a title. Subtitle, X label, X axis, Y label, or whatever the known data things you could write in a title. Okay, the data link we could not write. Okay, many other graphical parameters such as text size, font, rotation, and the color can also be specified in a title function, which are not related to data. Add a red title and a blue subtitle make action by 25% smaller than the default and green. Okay, so I just do it. What add a red title? Title I want in red color. That is my title would be in the red color. And the subtitle, my subtitle would be in a blue color. Okay. So color subtitle blue, color main red. X label is default. I have not explained anything there. Y label is default. And X and Y levels 25% is smaller. So it is the one. So I have taken 0.75, which would be smaller than that, the default green. X lab default green. So X lab means X lab the color lab. So this label color and this label color would be green. Okay. So I run it. See this. Got it? Okay. So there are so many things remains. Tomorrow we continue it. We try to finish tomorrow this script, and day after tomorrow we start the ggplot2. There are so many parameters, so many graphs you will see here, and I will share this script and the charts what I have shown you along with the PPT with you.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have a question. Yesterday, you have used that empty cars as well as arthritis one. No?
What?
The data.
Yes. Pardon, please. I
Sorry.
was reading. Yeah.
Okay. So I am saying like yesterday class, you have used two type of datas. One was empty cars and other was arthritis.
Yeah.
I was when I run on on my R studio, I am able to get empty cars, but was not able to get that arthritis one.
Okay. Arthritis is a dataset from the VCD library.
Okay, sir. So how we can come to know like which library we need to download or not, or where we can have?
Okay, when you do the practice in a few days, then you would be able. There are very few libraries we use here. So 2 or 3 times if we use some library, you see all the functions related to the libraries. Okay, so you have to run the VCD library, or you have to first install that. So I'll showing you how to install it. Only once we have to install, and every time we have to run it only. Okay, so if you write the VCD, you will get it and you just install it.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
And then whenever you require, whenever you import, every time you have to import. You don't have to install every time. And once you have installed it, it's okay. Whenever you have to import it, just write the library and that library name
Okay.
and run it. It will be imported. Then you use that arthritis data.
Even sir, I was not able to view anything like when I use a command view MD or view something
Huh.
which I mentioned.
So
There is
you are using a small v or is capital V in the view?
a small one.
No, no. In the view, V is capital. In the few
Okay.
functions, it starts with capital. Only very few, one or
Okay,
two
sir.
functions. Only the view is starts with capital V.
That might be the problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, okay, no problem. So, Mr. Mukesh, are you there? Okay. So we finish our session, today's session here, and tomorrow we see further few. Okay, I think the Mr. Mukesh is there. Sir,
Yes,
it's
sir.
over to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. So thank you very much, all of you, for your presence. So tomorrow again we are meeting 5 o'clock sharp. So we'll start 5 o'clock sharp, and I kindly request all those participants who is willing to take the certificate study material, do your payment as early as possible so that we can share you the link. Any payment link, sorry, any study material link, please, it is for you. Do not share in the group or any social media or to anybody. It's only for you. So if you're sharing anywhere, this means you're breaching the that law of privacy. So do not share with anywhere. That it's all material are copyright of Cypher Analytica. Thank you very much, all of you. Let's connect tomorrow again and 5 o'clock. And today's session was really wonderful, sir. Awesome. It was
Thanks.
very much awesome.
Thanks, sir.
And more to come in 10 days. So let's see. So see you again tomorrow, 5 o'clock, all of you. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.